Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rec Room with Brian Rector. I gotta tell you, I am so excited for this episode for a few reasons. Number one, it's episode 50 of the Rec Room. If you can believe that, we've reached a milestone here on the show. So, very excited about that. It's been quite the journey since September of 2023. Now we're sitting here in early April of 2026. And wow, I mean, it's hard to even imagine that we've come all this way. So, without further ado, let me introduce this lady here, Angelina Vazquez, who's a track athlete at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And I'm so excited to be sitting here with her because, and this is actually something we've been speaking about off camera, is like the athlete and like creator and social media ecosystem is so tightly knit. It's so easy to have crossover and know similar people. I was combing through the AthleteCon followers, and just because I'm taking inventory over who I know and who I don't know and who might be at AthleteCon in Las Vegas in June of 2026, a few months from now. And Angelina, I found your account. And immediately I was like, dang it, there's going to be a story here. I just feel it. It's
Yeah,
just in my bones of like I gotta connect. And so
yeah.
thank you for the connection and thank you for being here. Let me ask you, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's a little hot in Vegas, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm so good. I feel the same way of like I'm out here in Phoenix, not very far away. We're in the same region. And like, dang it. I mean, my computer right now, Angelina, is showing me 97 degrees. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yeah, I don't even want to go outside. I'm fine
No,
with my AC in here, my ice water. No, I don't even want to go outside.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, as it's getting to be warmer in temperature, it's also heating up as far as the preparation for AthleteCon. And that's where I want to begin because you are somebody who has gone to AthleteCon one time before.
Yes.
And by nature of being in Vegas, which is where AthleteCon is hosted this upcoming year, you will be back. That's my understanding, and have been contributing behind the scenes to the efforts of Sam Green and Ty Buttrey and AthleteCon, alongside Chief Borders, getting prepared to have the running Rebels in the fold here at AthleteCon. So, what has that looked like for you? And really, let's just start there. Like, what did AthleteCon do for you last year? And what are you looking forward to with this third iteration of the event this year?
Yeah, so AthleteCon opened so many doors for me in a sense where I got to meet many people like Maggie, Kennedy, Terrell, Jacob, and these people have inspired me to create content. And with create content creation, I've been getting brand deals, just promoting myself and getting that engagement on my Instagram, on my Snapchat, on my TikTok, really just promoting and monetizing myself and building my brand. And I feel like that's really important as an athlete, just building your brand to get these brand deals because there's so many brands that wanna work with athletes, but they just can't find everybody. So you really need to just put yourself out there, and so they could be like, "Oh, like, I like her style, I like her TikTok, I like she
Mm.
authentic," and so they can reach out to you. So Athleticon really, like, opened doors for me, and I'm just so happy that I was able to go, meet Sam Green, and now I'm currently working with Sam Green and trying to promote Athleticon since it's in Vegas, and we're so excited, and it's gonna be way bigger than it was last year. I thought last year was big, but with the venue this year and the promotions and everything going on, I'm super excited to see how many people from UNLV are going to go. And, just from other schools from around the world. Like, I'm just so excited it's going to be so big. And Sam Green's doing such an amazing job promoting it. And the support she has with all the athletes that are going, everybody's excited. Everybody's making content. Like, we're all texting each other, like, okay, let's make this content in preparation for AthleteCon. Like, we're just excited to make content before even getting there and just
Mhm.
helping Sam promote it any way we can. So we're all, including myself, we're just so excited.
Angelina, I really appreciate hearing that perspective from you because that's what's happening currently. And like when you are beginning an event that is really a grassroots like organization, from the ground up. You know, it's just 3 years into this thing, into this conference, and what it's become already. It
Yeah.
takes that. It takes being a leader, but from a servant perspective. It takes going above and beyond and pushing the envelope further than the year
Yeah.
before, right? To keep the thing sustainable. Let me ask you this. Like, you're from Barstow, California, right? Like, being from Barstow, what does that place mean to you today? What's your relationship with the place? And then additionally, of like becoming somebody who's having all these experiences, like, is there any way that you have been able to stay connected to the community that you came from?
So Barstow is home. It's always going to be home, regardless of how small the town is. That's where I met my best friends, who I still talk to and that I treat like family. And my parents obviously still live in Barstow, but I needed to get out. And it's not really a place where I'm just like I miss Barstow because it's just so small. But I do miss the people that are in Barstow. You know, my family, my friends, the people from the high school that I grew up in, and just I miss the people, in a sense, the town itself, because the town is just so small. But it took me leaving to be able to miss that. You know, when I was in high school, I was like, no, I just want to get out. I just want to get out. I want to
Mm,
leave. I'm never coming back. And now I find myself like, oh, I want to go back. I want to go to my house, my room. I want to go train on the track a little bit.
mhm,
High school, I miss the old coaches and stuff. So it's really an experience that makes you need to leave so you can miss it again.
mm,
And I
mm,
think with the platform that I've been building, it's been inspiring people from the high desert, not just Barstow, but the high desert to want to promote themselves and see that someone from Barstow has made it to the D1 level and they're still at the D1 level training and having opportunities to work with brands. And it's something that isn't seen every day. And so, with the connections that I have, you know, still having these coaches on Instagram, having people on Instagram, they're seeing what I'm doing and they get a little inspired to want to do it themselves.
mm. Thank you so much for answering that the way that you did. I was hoping that you would mention the fact that Barstow is as small as it is, because you have now really, when you look at your college career, have had the opportunity to run in two of the largest media markets in the country, in LA and South Central, and then Vegas now, right?
Yeah.
So given that dichotomy between where you grew up and where you've been able to run at, like, how often do you reflect on how far we've come and like how different it looks today, being able to build this platform and use that as positioning to connect with those who are coming up in the high desert behind you?
Yeah, a lot of the times, I think more now that I'm in Vegas, I reflect a lot more. When I was at USC, it was just such a big school, and I was, you know, my freshman year was so big compared to Barstow. I was like, oh my goodness, there's cameras on the track, there's cameras in our face. Like it was very different for me. And then I got adjusted to it my sophomore year, and now I'm in Vegas, which is also like a big city, and so like the city's always, you know, lit up, and it's just to go home and it's so quiet, you enjoy the peace
Mhm.
and the quiet that comes with it. And it's something that I took for granted when I was home. I was like, wow, it's so quiet here. It's so boring. But it's good to, you know, have the chaos here, like not just chaos like partying, but I'm saying chaos where it's like you're on the go, you know, athletically. You have meetings, you have practice, you have things to do, you have interviews that I'm doing, you have
Mhm.
to take pictures for some media. That's the chaos I'm talking about. And then when you go home, it's quiet and it's silent and you can think again. And being able to find that headspace, even in the midst of all this chaos here, is what
Right.
I've been learning to do at my time in Vegas. And so I don't have classes in person, I have classes online. So
Mhm.
it plays a really good part in me being able to ground myself and be appreciative of where I am. And that's big for me with mental health because I want to be able to just be like, okay, I've I've done USC. I've been at that level and now I'm here in Vegas and I'm doing this here with D1 still. And I just need to be thankful where I am. And I've just gone so far. You know, like you said, LA and Vegas, two big cities. So just for me to be out of Little Barstow, excuse me, to be able to leave Little Barstow is just it's such a big thing for me,
Right.
and not many people can say they've done that, and I need to really just be thankful for that instead of just like think of so many things like, oh, I'm so tired from practice. Like, no, I need to be thankful that I was able to leave and experience what I'm experiencing.
Mm. Did you have like a moment where over the course of your career and particularly to be specific, early on, where you now like have this perspective of, oh, I can actually make it to somewhere, right? Like I actually have the skills to
Hmm.
go to a place like that. When did that come for you, and how early were you thinking about the next level and getting to somewhere like a Division 1 program?
Yeah, so in high school, I did soccer, I did basketball. Track was the last thing on my mind. My dad is a runner, and so he was like, "You have to do cross country. If you want to play soccer, you got to run." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll do it. I just want to play soccer. My brother's a soccer player, so I was like, that's all I really wanted to do." And then I broke my collarbone playing soccer my sophomore year of high school. And so I was like, I'm not doing that again. Like it really did scare me. It took me like almost a year to recover from it.
Wow.
And so I was like, I really don't have time. It's my sophomore year, I'm going into my junior year. And my dad said, let's try track my junior year of high school. And so I went and I did it. And my dad was my coach because we don't have track in middle school. And so I tried track. I trusted my dad. And I think that's what played the biggest part. I had no idea what track really was. I just would watch it in the Olympics. And I was just
Mm,
like, if my dad is saying that I can beat these school records and I can be number one in Barstow, not even Barstow, but the high desert, then I'm going to trust my dad who has this experience and I have nothing to lose really. And that's exactly what I did. I just kept my head down. I stayed quiet and I broke the school records. And then that's when I was like, oh, maybe I can stick to track and maybe I can actually go D1. But I was always like, Barstow's like really small. Like, I don't know. There's no recruits coming. We have no home meets. I don't really know what I should
mm,
be doing. I, I'm first gen, so I was like, do I reach out? Do they reach out? It was really like a kind of a confusing area where I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I am just running and I hope that's enough. And thankfully, it was enough for me to um, catch coach's attention and really make it to where I wanted to be. But my senior year was kind of like, I had already committed to SC like mid-season, and so that gave me such a sense of like, okay, now I can really just take it race by race. But the hunger that
mm,
I had my junior year was like, I'm getting out of Barstow and nobody's gonna stop me because I need to get out of Barstow for myself. Like, there's no way I'm gonna stay here, and there's no way that I'm not gonna go where I want to go. And I had that mindset. I didn't know where it was going to be yet. It wasn't like, how some people are like, from when they were little, it's like USC, USC. It's not,
right.
it wasn't like that. It became my dream school when I had a conversation with Coach Harris for the first time. And I was like, wait, this is achievable. Like, I could do this. Then it became my dream. But my mindset was just, I need to get out of Barstow, and there's no way I won't get out of Barstow. I
Mm,
will because I know I'm good. And I'm breaking these records, and these coaches now are texting me. So I need to get out. And I think that hunger just carried on. And that's what coaches liked, and they saw it in a race.
mhm.
And so I was thankful enough to be able to go to USC, and I carried that hunger to SC.
Sure. Sure, absolutely. Let me ask you this. I would imagine that being able to go somewhere like SC was a validating experience, right? It's like redeeming for you of that work was worth it. But when you got there, how much did you find yourself thinking about what was next and what you had to accomplish and what the mission was versus this is how much gratitude I have for how far that I've come?
Yeah, I think every day
Mm,
I thought of the next day
mm,
instead of just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm at USC.
mhm,
The moment I stepped onto campus at USC, I went during the summer and I was just thinking, I had just moved in, just put everything in the cubbies, had my little dorm, not really dorm, but I had my little room. And I was already thinking about, okay, tomorrow I need to wake up early. I need to wake up at 5 and I need to go run. And then after that, I need to go in the gym. And then after that, I need to recover. And then I'm going to go run again. And then I'm going to stretch. It was just like my mind was never like, just relax. Like, you did it. Like, you actually did it. And there were so many people who I'm so thankful for who tried grounding me and were like, you've done so much. You've done so much. but it was my own my own self that I just wouldn't allow myself to be thankful for where I was, and I didn't have that gratitude, and I just kept thinking about how much can I do tomorrow instead of just, okay, like today was a good day. Like I really did a lot today. And it was just every day. And I don't think that ever stopped until I decided to like leave. And now I'm just like, okay, like today was a good day. I had a hard practice. I had
Mm.
lit. I had a meeting that took a very long time. I scheduled things. I checked my emails. I passed my midterm. I'm just so thankful of the little things now per day instead of thinking of what I need to do tomorrow. And I'm just very just grounded in myself now, and it's resulted in my mental health being so much better.
Mm-hmm. I appreciated when we started talking off camera about how much of a positive relationship that you still have with the Trojan family. But I was curious to ask this of like, would you attribute the change positively in your mental state more to the support that you felt when you did change as far as being different, or more so growth and maturation internally and like reflection that you did? It like I guess to summarize, like internal versus external, the environment versus the condition of how you felt.
Yeah, it was all internal.
Hmm.
'Cause I can talk about
Mhm.
USC and how grateful it was and how much fun it was to just hang out with my teammates for hours and just laugh or go to the basketball games, go to the football games.
Mhm.
And I cherish those friendship. I cherish the coaches who believed in me, who sat me down in meetings and were just like, have the confidence, who gave me confidence, my trainers who let me cry and just vent. I appreciate that school so much. It helped me, grow as an athlete, and I learned so much that I carry with myself now. Um, but over the summer of me being in the transfer portal, I knew something had to change, and I knew it wasn't the school, it was me. And I needed to make the change within myself if I wanted to be happy because I'm the only person who can make myself happy. And I
Mhm.
can't just always put the blame on, oh, it was these people, it was the school, but I needed to be happy within myself. And that's why I'm also like my mom, my dad played such a good part. And they're just like, meditate, pray, ground yourself, figure out who you are again, because there was somewhere in some time that I lost it. I got lost in wanting to be somebody I wasn't. I got lost in trying to overdo it when I should just be thankful for who I am. And I got lost in like, well, like I everybody's looking at me from Barstow. I need to do this. No, everybody's happy for me in Barstow. Everybody's cheering for me in Barstow. And it's just a perspective and a mindset that I had to change. And
Mm.
just that small tweak in life, it just made everything so much better. I started enjoying the days. I wasn't as angry to people anymore. It became like a calm era that I'm in, like a soft era.
Mm.
And so I'm still in that. And that's like, I used to think like, no, I can't be soft. I have to be aggressive. That's like
Mm.
that's the thing, and no, it's like there's beauty in being in your soft air, and there's beauty in being calm and relaxed because you have control.
100%. Here's a question, because I feel so far, I mean, let's be honest. This right now is the first time that you and I are meeting. It's the first time that we're connecting and learning about each other.
Mhm,
Like, I happen to know, and I was able to validate this in our conversation before jumping on to camera, of that you have been studying psychology, right?
mhm.
And like how much of your research and your time spent in class and your like educational track, um, how much has that made an impact in these changes and this growth that you've seen in your career?
So much, honestly. I started studying psychology because I wanted to be a sports psychologist for the fact that I felt like athletes need somebody to talk to because I just always felt I was under so much stress, and that stress now I know is just on myself. And it was so helped because at USC I had a sports psychologist and they just listened to me speak, and it was just amazing. And so studying psychology, every time I feel overwhelmed, stressed, angry, I just journal. And that's what it's taught me. Like journal to understand your emotions, because if you can understand your emotions, you won't act on them. And I feel like acting on emotions is honestly not the best thing you should do because then you kind of regret the outcome. So like kind of going back to what I said, just being calm when there's strength in being calm, because there's strength in understanding your emotions. And if you understand your emotions, you live a better life, and you on the track, off the track, in class, and with family. And I think my parents could honestly see it now that I'm just a more calm person at home,
Mm,
because I was just under so much stress that I gave myself, that I was so angry, and I was just so closed off. And they were just so confused. And as parents, they're just like, what did we do? What's going on? And I never had an answer. And now when I go home for like holidays, it's like, no, let's hang out in the living room. Like, let's watch TV. And they're just like, this is different. But it's because like I've understood now, like, I can control my emotions. I know what I feel. I'm not fighting myself. Like, why am I mad? No, I'm sad instead. Like, why am I, it's just, I know exactly what's going on, and I can get to the root of why am I even feeling like this? And I can just pray about it, let it
mhm.
go, and then continue on with my day. And I don't hold it in me so much that it just explodes on somebody. It's like a cycle. I understand it, I let it go, I pray about it, and I go about my day.
Given what we've said here about the era that you find yourself in, right? And how you're going about your days and being more present and all of these changes that we have spoken on. Like what emotions and feelings come from being on the track? Like is that a place where you feel strong? Is that a place where you feel, you know, welcomed? Like what does being on track, what does training do for you today mentally?
I think track is where my mind is the most quiet, which is kind of crazy because it's where I suffer the most, because we're just doing such high intensity workouts. Just the other day, I don't know how long I was laid out after practice, maybe like 10 minutes. It was such a hard workout, but it's where I could think, during the warm up. I'm thinking about, not even thinking about, oh my gosh, what do I need to do tomorrow, but I'm thinking about, oh, I woke up today, like, let me think about it's like just a sense of calmness and confidence when I step on the track, because it's what I know. It's like the one thing that I have that I'm very secure in. Like, I know track, and
Mhm,
track knows me. We go
mhm,
hand in hand. Like, it's a bond that, it might sound silly, but it's a bond that I've created with the sport. And that's like the safe place that I have. And like, so when I step in, whether I just had like the worst night of my life, or there's a lot going on in my life, when I step on the track and I start warming up, those problems don't follow me to the track.
mhm,
It's like a sense of being quiet.
mhm,
And it doesn't matter how hard I'm breathing, like how lactic I am, the negative thoughts don't affect my track workout in life. Once I leave the track, that's its own problem and stuff. But family issues, friend issues, those things do not enter the track, because it's like a whole new space for me.
mhm. I think about one of the laws of physics that an object in motion stays in motion, right?
Mhm.
Of like you just continue to move and press on towards that goal. That's fascinating, Angelina. Thank you for that perspective.
Of course.
I'm interested. Like you are somebody who certainly has not shied away from becoming more involved in the content creation space. And you talked about the metrics that you've hit of engagement, viewership, everything else. Like when did that journey begin for you, and why has this evolution of being more involved in social media, why has that been so important for you the last however long?
Yeah, so I could say I started taking social media seriously after AthleteCon. I went home, back to LA. I came back super inspired, and not only inspired, but I had so much support. I had so many new friends who were texting me like, "Hey, let's collab. Let's do this. I have this idea. Do you want to do this with me?" And it's one thing when you're surrounded by people who inspire you, and because you start rolling into that mentality and the ball gets rolling and you guys are all creating things together. And so ever since then, I started like, okay, let's make some silly TikToks. Like, let's do it. Let's post it on Reels. And just doing those things daily has led to great engagement on my Instagram and Snapchat, where people are like, oh, what, you're verified? And I'm like, yeah, like that's what happens when you start posting a lot on Snapchat. Like, Snapchat notices and you just wake up verified.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't know how else to explain it, but the more views you get, Snapchat will notice and Snapchat will reward you. And so It's really just because of the group that I've, met, and I'm just surrounded by people who inspire me. And I think that's just very important in life. If you're surrounded by people who inspire you, you're going to want to be like them and you're going to want to grow because you don't want to be left behind. And so I want the brand deals, I see them doing great brand deals and I'm like, oh, like I would really like that for myself as well. And so I'm working and working just like them and they're helping me and they're collabing with me and they're giving me tips and all those things. They're just being so sweet and, respectful of it. And it's a great bond to have.
There's the old adage, Angelina, that who you become is a product of the five people that you spend the most time around. Like,
Hmm.
who are those people for you that are in your circle that serve as like guiding lights on this journey? And even if you don't necessarily have a personal relationship with whoever's in that camp, like who do you look up to in this space?
Oh, my brother, easily. I don't know why I thought so hard about it. I was like, let me think of five friends, but my brother is my best friend. So I was just like, wait, what am I like? It's no doubt about it. My brother is, I think he's always been my inspiration since I was younger. Maybe because he's the older brother and I'm the younger sister,
I see.
but his grit and wanting to succeed in life, nobody's taking that away from him. And if people think I have grit, they haven't met my brother
Mm,
because I probably look lazy compared to my brother.
mm.
And that's something that inspires me every day. It's like when I go home for the holidays, like my brother just came back from London. He lived in London. So he's just visiting for a little bit. And he's just like, I'm like, oh mom, where's my brother? She's like, oh, he left. He's been playing soccer for 2 hours. And I'm like, it's 6 in the morning. What time did he leave? The sun's not out yet. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, like, I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna work out again outside. And I'm like, I haven't even got dressed yet. I'm just like, I think I am so determined until I am around my brother and I'm just like, okay, there's levels to it.
Mhm.
Like I need to really get onto it. And so I really appreciate my brother and he's just like he's so knowledgeable. Like he's always reading, he's always trying to be better than who he was yesterday. And I think he's inspired me to live like that because I've lived so much in wanting to be better the next day instead of wanting to be better than who I was
Mm.
yesterday. And that's how he lives and it's so inspiring to see him every day just with soccer and truly it's really what carried me to be the best in high school and of course with my parents' support, but it was his grit that allowed me to be like, oh, I want to be like my brother in that sense that he's so obsessed and he's so talented with this sport and he loves it at the end of the day. Because some people are obsessed, but they don't love the sport.
Right.
But he is in love with soccer and it made me fall in love with track because it's just, we got to bond over sports. And so he's just like my inspiration.
Mm. Why do sports matter to our society? Like, what are the qualities of sports that allow that to happen, where you can bond over them and you can bring people to the table, even in times of distrust, misinformation, moments that are difficult for society, often are mended and, patched up by sport and the impact they have. Like, why do you think that is?
I think sports obviously they cause a lot of pain and physical pain because we're going through it, but it's something with going through physical pain alone and there's something with going through it with somebody right next to you
Mm.
because I can run laps on the track and I could be lactic and I could tell myself, you know what, I'm just going to do one more rep. I'm very hurt. And my teammate could be doing the exact same thing and she could be like, no, like cheering me on as she's exhausted. And it's something about that you gain a respect for that person because she's dying and she's lactic and she's either as lactic as me or more lactic, but she's finding the strength to cheer me on instead of just inspire herself. And so you bond with that because you're like, we're both going through it, but I want to see you succeed and I hope you want me to succeed and we want to succeed together and we want to get this workout done and you're just like you're going through it together. And I think a lot of athletes can like when they have training partners, you can kind of like relate. You're just going through the pain together
Mm.
and you just have that bond and friendship that you make because of the sport. And just like athletes are all connected. Like you just know so many people from other schools and just bonds that you make in high school, you continue to cheer those girls on in college. Like I know some girls from San Diego, Cal Poly, Irvine, Iowa, because I've competed with them in high school, and we just follow each other's progress now, and we're like continuing to cheer each other on. And I really think that's really what it is.
Mm, mhm. When you were speaking about your brother, you mentioned the terms grit and determination. Like, what is a quest of yours? What's a desire on your heart that you would like to accomplish or begin to work towards in 2026 that will use grit and determination? What's next for you as far as it could be any bucket, could be your studies, could be on the track, could be in content. I'm just curious for you as a person leveling up in this year, like what is coming for Angelina?
I think the main thing that's coming for me is continuing to work on myself
Hmm.
because I think that branches on into anything that I could ever do aside from
Right.
that. And I want to be so fulfilled and satisfied with what I have going on in my life that there's no possible room for envy in my heart to envy
Mm.
anyone else or to think bad about anybody else or to
Hmm.
form a thought of negativity for anybody else. I feel like the world has enough negativity as is, and many people just talk to just be negative. And I think for me, I want to just be so satisfied and fulfilled with my life and what I have going on. Even if I don't have anything going on, I want to be self-fulfilled and just be like, okay, I woke up today and that's great. And like let's see what the day has planned for me. And I feel like with that mindset, I really simply can't be disappointed in anything because anything is going to be positive. You know, I can have like the worst day at track practice, but I'm just like I couldn't do that years ago. I wasn't here years ago. You know, I just want to be fulfilled in what I have going on in my life and trusting God's plan. And instead of just trusting myself that I'm going to get myself where I need to be, I just need to trust God that He knows exactly where I need to be and at what pace I need to live life. And that's how I just want to continue to live life because if I'm not living like that, then I'm living for myself and I'm just speeding through the days trying to figure out what tomorrow has planned. And I'm not enjoying the teammates that I have, the friends that I have, the jokes that they're saying, you know, the fun times, and I really just want to be appreciate it more.
Angelina Vazquez, The Rec Room, episode 50. Thank you
Of
immensely
course.
for
Of
coming on
course.
and talking more about your journey, about where we're going. And let me tell you, I'm excited to meet and connect in Vegas in June. So
Yes,
it'll be
yes,
a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
fun. This one set the stage for that. And that's all we have for today on The Rec Room. But Angelina, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.
Absolutely.